Welcome all to another edition of the C64 Roundup, your concise guide to the latest news and releases for your Commodore 64. We'll start this episode off with another round of cool stuff. And this time, we've got a great looking Commodore 64 joystick by Pixel Memories. This custom built joystick controller comes in both a 2-button and 3-button variant, where the second button is mapped to up for all you freaks out there that need a button to jump, while the third button is mapped to the spacebar, which is very handy when playing games like Commando. The 3-button version utilises an additional joystick connector and cable to activate the spacebar. But if you want to play with 2 players, then you can always just use the port 2 connector and you still get the second button to act as up. I've been putting the controller through its paces over the past month and it's been a pleasure to use, and I found it superior to Monster Joystick's retro gaming controllers. My version here is using a compatible Sanwa components, and the direction joystick in particular was super precise and responsive. But you also have the option to purchase the controller with a genuine Sanwa joystick. Pixel Memories Commodore 64 joystick comes in a choice of 50 colours for the housing and sides, and there are multiple colours also to choose from for your buttons and joystick ball top. Go on and treat yourself and your Commodore 64 with a great device. Head on over to Pixel Memories Ko-fi page to place your orders. A link to the page can be found in this video's description. The second half of 2024 continues to be slim pickings when it comes to quality new game releases. So here are 3 more interesting games released over the past couple of months. After 7 years of stop-start development, Paul Collar has finally been able to release his remake of the popular platform game Spelunky. Spelunky 64 features procedurally generated levels where your goal is to descend through a series of caverns and reach the exit at the bottom, all while navigating traps, enemies and environmental hazards. The game contains 16 levels that are divided into 4 distinct areas, with each containing its own set of enemies and challenges. Each playthrough is different due to the random generation of levels. You initially have a set number of bombs and ropes that you can use to help you with your objective of reaching exits and treasures. Collecting treasure is not a necessity within the game, but it does help when you come across the in-game shopkeeper, allowing you to buy more ropes and bombs. You'll also come across a maiden in distress, guided to the exit to obtain a sweet kiss and an extra life. I'm not really a fan of Spelunky, but it's difficult to deny that Spelunky 64 is a good conversion within the confines of a single load disk image. Getting the game to work with a single joystick button was always going to be challenging, and at first I really had a hard time using bombs. But as soon as I realised I was just overthinking the control mechanism, I quickly worked it out and the game got a whole lot better for me. Spelunky 64 is optimised to run on power machines, but it should work for NTSC machines as well. The game is available as a digital purchase through itch.io. Portal Buster is a fast-paced bi-directional horizontal shooter where your aim is to barrel through a myriad of space bots to find and destroy an end boss. The game contains power-ups and you need to continuously collect fuel barrels to keep your spaceship afloat. Gameplay can be a bit challenging, but there are inbuilt trainers to help you get the most from the game. Technically, the game is impressive. It looks nice and runs quite smoothly. The controls are super responsive and you can tell the game has been put together by someone who knows their craft. But I can't help but feel that the game could be a lot more with a bit more considerations to its overall game design, as it does feel a little shallow, leading you to ask yourself as to whether you'd play it for more than one game session. Regardless, Portal Buster is well worth trying out and you can grab your copy for free from itch.io. Mega Run is a run and dodge style of game where you're an android whose Mega Blaster weapon has been stolen by evil creatures. In this game, you have to run across 3 levels in order to rescue your weapon. The first part of the game sees you have to jump over the enemy, though it's not entirely clear which ones need jumping over. The second part sees you having to dodge the enemy from coming down on you from above, while the third part is similar to Flappy Bird in style. Complete the levels twice in order to recover your weapon. The overall presentation of Mega Run is interesting, but it doesn't quite compensate for the basic gameplay style that it offers, putting the game in the play once and forget category. Oh well. Mega Run is available as a free digital download from itch.io. Reset 64 has once again ran its 4K Craptastic game competition where coders old and new look to produce the best games they can within the confines of a 4KB file size restriction. So let's see what we got this year. Act Natural sees you stuck in a long-winded conversation with a talkative woman, and your job is to accumulate as many points as possible by adopting the best facial responses. Use the various directional joystick points to cycle through each of the facial parts in order to best respond to the woman's conversation points. Banana Syndrome is an endless high-score shooter where a truck loaded with radioactive substances has crashed into the local fruit store, and the bananas have mutated into evil beings. Keep on shooting your bananas until you run out of lives. Bat in a Cave is a single button game that sees you take control of a bat trying to navigate a cave, collecting hearts along the way until you reach the target point. You don't have much control over the bat other than determining the timing of each thrust up the cave. There's no steering, so the key is to time your presses in a way to avoid obstacles. Cat and Bombs is an endless high-score shooter where you play a kitten whose quiet life is one day disrupted by a strange invasion of unidentified beings. The objective is to collect bombs and shoot them at the snake-like looking things until you run out of lives. Cavern Drone Race is a drone racing game in which you compete as the red drone against 2 other drones. The cavern contains 2 flashing checkpoints that you must fly through, and the overall course needs to be completed within 2 minutes. This is a fun little racer despite the awful drone sound effect that is sure to damage what little hearing we have left in our old age. Crap Basket sees you try to score as many basket throws as possible within a time limit. With each throw, you use your joystick to adjust your trajectory and strength before firing off your shot. A simple game that is addictive and would be an excellent party game to take on your friends to see who can get the highest score. Crap Recovery sees you try out your skills as a helicopter pilot as you try and grab as many boxes falling from the sky as you can. You need to avoid the rocks that are constantly falling down all around you, and you must make sure you don't get too close to the sea. If you find yourself running out of fuel, simply land on the yellow platform to refuel. In Fire Whiz, you're a young wizard with the job of keeping the cavern free from ice monsters by lighting up the fireplaces. Pick up the flame from one fireplace and use it to light up the others. You'll have to watch out while navigating across ice platforms with a flame, as this will temporarily melt the ice, causing you to fall down. Interceptor is a variant on the missile command style of game. Defend your city by blasting the meteors before they come crashing down. Use the 1, 2, 3 keys in order for your corresponding cannon to take a shot. Eliminate the quota of meteors for a level and obtain a bonus before doing it all over again in the next level. Invitation to Leave is another high scorer chaser style of game. Pesky tourists have no respect for anything and have entered where they shouldn't. You play the role as a security guard, so go up to them and give them a few shoves to move on. And that's all there is to it. Jerry Kavinsky vs Space Goblins is a run-and style game where you play the role of Jerry Kavinsky, a time warp hero whose mission is to rescue the kidnapped president daughter from the hands of mutants. This game is a loose tribute to the Amiga game Gem Power. In Maze Cleaner, your job is to clear out slimes blocking the maze's passageways. Pressing the fire button activates the charge ability, which allows you to push the slimes and grants you additional speed, but does not allow you to make turns until you reach the next wall. Once the maze has been cleared, you must reach the goal in order to advance to the next level. Metaverse is a gravity-based puzzle platform game. The direction of the gravity on each level changes depending on the background colour, and your objective for each level is to collect all the coins before making your way to the Nexus portal to escape. Precision jumping and steering is the key to success here. There are 13 levels on offer. Morobuto has been captured by the evil aliens and he needs to break free. Make your way from left to right over each of the 4 levels and try to get as high a score as possible. Pressing the joystick button will give Morobuto a boost. Contact with any alien creature will knock Morobuto back and cost a large amount of energy. Boosting will also drain energy, but it also increases the score. Additional points are made based on the time left when you reach the end of a level. Nice Day for Fishing is a relaxing fishing game for the C64. Sit by the lake, watch the bobber and wait for it to be pulled underwater. After a few tugs, reel in your catch by pressing fire or space. The longer you wait, the better your chances for a great catch. But don't wait too long or the fish might get away. Oh No More Bones is the third installment of Commocore's Bones series of 4K games. You're in a dead garden guarded by two sentinels, and your objective is to collect all the bones of your recently departed uncle so that you can summon his ghost back to have him reveal what inheritance he has left for you. Make your way through this pseudo 3D game world, blasting the baddies and locate those bones. Revenge of Blobby Things is a fast-paced single-screen shooter where your objective is simple: kill everything else so that you can do it all over again on the next level. In Revenge of the Spiders, you simply just kill spiders by spraying water on them. The joystick controls the direction and strength of the hose spray, and the button sprays the water. Robot Spy 64 is a memory game where you need to remember the joystick direction pattern briefly displayed and then move your joystick in the same direction in order to advance through the game. Shark Under the Sea is a high score chaser that has you controlling a hungry shark as you try to eat the fish while avoiding hunter divers and depth charges being dropped from the boats above. Base Wars would be the best of the batch of the games submitted by Sky Baron. This is a high score shooter where you need to shoot down the enemy formations and avoid colliding with the enemies. Some enemies will break out of formation and head straight for your ship, so you need to keep your wits about you if you're going to rack up a huge score. In Stop the Bomber, some shifty looking dudes keep on dropping bombs. You need to disable the bombs before they defuse. You have 5 lives and you lose 1 life for each bomb that explodes. Hitting the shifty dude 10 times will knock him out, but there is no point in doing this, as another shifty guy immediately comes out to drop bombs. In treacherous platforms, you need to jump from platform to platform, avoiding getting too close to enemy robots or their gunfire. Pressing the joystick button to use your laser gun while holding the up direction for longer makes you jump higher. If you fall off the platform or get hit by them, you lose a life. Tsunami Toso sees you as a penultimate ninja. A terrible tsunami is wreaking havoc on your village, and it's up to you to escape the raging wave and save your baby son by pushing the baby stroller up the hill. But to do this, you have to smash through boulders, so the game ends up being a juggling act between pushing the stroller and smashing rocks. In Vespari, you drive a super race car as you avoid crashing into other slow moving cars with the aim to reach the next checkpoint before time runs out. Your car gradually gains speed, but this resets if you collide with any car. Weights and Crate is a jump and avoid style of game. You play the role of a factory worker whose job is to inspect incoming crates on board a moving conveyor belt by jumping over them. Points are scored when they leave the screen. Avoid colliding with the crates, and also make sure not to step on the red rollers as you'll end up in deep water. From the 5th level onwards, there are also falling weights to avoid. And now, my top 5 submissions into this year's Craptastic competition. Hydrogen is a breakout clone, and even though there is an elaborate backstory to the game, the simple premise is to eliminate all of the rectangular blocks by hitting them with a ball. There are 4 different power-ups on offer, including a force field barrier, an extension to the width of your bat, the ability to make balls continue on pass through the blocks, and having the ball stick to your bat until you're ready to release it. Hydrogen offers a very solid breakout style gameplay, and while it can be a little slow for my liking, it does offer a good challenge overall that most of you should enjoy. I was dreading Crap Pack, thinking that it was another crappy Pac-Man clone. But no, Crap Pack ends up being an engaging single screen platform game where you control a rocket ship as you collect a required quota of flashing things while shooting meteors out of the way. You have a set amount of energy, as shown up the top next to the maroon diamond, which diminishes whenever you use thrusters or get hit by a meteor. Luckily there are plenty of diamonds to collect to replenish your energy. This is a well executed game within the confines of the 4 kilobyte restriction, though I wish it was a little bit more challenging. In Nightmare, you find that your house has been overrun by ghosts. To escape them, pick up the key and head for the exit. Areas lit up are your safe zones, which make the ghosts disappear. The objective of the game is to escape as many screens as possible before your health bar diminishes. I like the graphical style adopted here, and appreciate the slight strategic element to the gameplay, which gives some depth. In Nightmare, you find that your house has been overrun by ghosts. To escape them, pick up the key and head for the exit. Areas lit up are your safe zones, which make the ghosts disappear. The objective of the game is to escape as many screens as possible before your health bar diminishes. I like the graphical style adopted here, and appreciate the slight strategic element to the gameplay, which gives some depth. The aim of Drone Zone is to maneuver your drone through each of the zones in the quickest time possible. Minor impacts are okay and only incur a small time penalty, while bigger impacts will destroy your drone. You're free to take on any of the 6 zones available, and best times for each zone are saved. The control mechanism on offer here is pretty much spot on, and there's even a cool SID track thrown in as well. Drone Zone is a highly addictive little game that is a blast to play. But my favourite Craptastic 2024 entry is Golf Dash, an arcade-style sliding puzzle game where your objective is to get your golf ball into the hole and do this for all 17 levels in the quickest time and least moves possible. Your ball continues to move in any given direction until it hits an obstacle, and it's up to you to use this mechanism to guide your golf ball to the target location. Later levels introduce movable blocks, providing progressive gameplay elements, and if you ever get stuck on a level, you can always restart. This is a very well produced little game, and the backing SID soundtrack is a true pleasure to listen to. And what does the winner of RGN's choice of Best Craptastic Game win?
Nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
And that is a wrap on another C64 roundup. Hope you enjoyed the content, and if you did, I'd appreciate you giving a thumbs up to appease the algorithm gods so that they may allow me to at least do one more C64 roundup. I'll see you in December. Until then, bye for now.